100 hours, and men are singing their traditional songs.
They tell of deep sadness and a sense of mourning. They were singing these same sad songs when we left Mersin, but most of the men who were singing then now lie covered with earth.
Location HMT Aquitania.
Date 29 July 1915. Hour 6 p.m. Embarked on HMT
Aquitania at Liverpool for Dardanelles.
There are soldiers also aboard the ferry at 2:50. The division's harmonica team played a welcoming piece.
The soldiers repeated the prayers for the Sultan. Then we heard gunfire. An enemy submarine had fired a torpedo at one of the ships. A barge
Had been damaged and 2 men had been drowned.
Date 1st August 1915. Voyage continues.
Sea Ross. Ship not fitted with hammocks. Considerable
experience in keeping decks and berths tidy.
Location Silver Bay. Date 10 August 1915. Hour 1 p.m. Started for Silver Bay, arriving 3 p.m. Disembarked
5 p.m. Proceeded at 9 p.m. with 163rd Brigade 2 miles due north, then placed in reserve.
Oh, such sadness in the redness of the sunset. It was as if it was crying for all of the tragedies which had occurred on this peninsula. Who knows how much sorrow and grief it was carrying.
The universe submerged into a slight light again. The moon was rising above, sometimes hiding and sometimes showing its sad and weeping face. It seemed as if it desired to see thousands who were crying for their country, longing for those left behind, yearning for their families and looking for some revenge. It wanted to hear and drink the suffering of separation with all its sorrow.
Now we could see some dark lines around the moon. The entire view was wonderful, as if everything wanted to share the sorrow of the moon.
Here is roughly the daily issue: good bully beef and desiccated vegetables, or tins of cooked beef and mixed vegetables in ample quantity, good quality biscuits.
Tea and sugar sufficient for about 3 pints of tea per man and a sufficiency of jam.
Some of the infantry round about us actually had fresh bread and meat suitable for frying as steaks.
The flies are about our biggest enemies. Heaps worse than Turks.
They hold competitions as to who can stop on a piece of bread and jam the longest before you can take a bite.
It's a good job you can't see me now, and I'm afraid I can't have my photo taken. I have not had a wash or a shave or a change of socks for a fortnight now. I've got quite a fine beard and trim it occasionally with a pair of nail scissors.
Grub is good, but the water is awful and dysentery is very
right. Well, I suppose it will all end in due course, but I'm afraid that the loss of life must be totaled up in thousands ere the job is over. There is one thing asked for here, and that is cake.
16th of August 1915. Location Suvla Longtree Gully. Trenches under heavy fire all day. Casualties again heavy. Captain Lewis badly wounded and Captain Wisdom
Took over command. During night, position consolidated and trenches partially reconstructed as far as possible.
Casualties during the 15th and the 16th of August. 9 officers and about 350 rank and file.
30th August 1915. Much sickness reported amongst troops.
And numerous cases of dysentery sent to hospital. 2nd of September 1915. Quiet day, numerous bathing parades returned without casualties.
Digging continued at night in force. Much sickness in camp.
I heard a painful voice from the distance. I listened to it. It was a private second. He was singing a famous song that influenced me deeply. It reminded me of happy days in Istanbul. However, that did not last for long.
Where was I now? Where am I going? In that song it said the heart is burning, but I couldn't find the fire. My heart had been burning for months, and it was such a pain that my body had been melting under this fire for a long time. I do not know now. How do I live with the
Suffering and hellish fires of agony? How does my weak body, my sensitive soul endure this separation and these sorrows that follow? The heart is burning, but I couldn't find the fire. I couldn't find a love for my heart. Had I found the face that I had been searching and dreaming for years? Yes, for a time I thought I had found it. For about 15 days I had felt happy with this feeling, but then what happened to me? Oh Lord, what happened? Why can I still not forget her, although I am so far away from her?
From this place of love, this fresh rosy horizon, those magical and attracting eyes, why can I not forget those dark black eyes and the fire hidden in them? Why do I still long for her, although she probably does not think of me?
Zamanlar görmedim sevduğumi. Oldu hayli zamanlar görmedim sevduğumi.
We departed at 5 a.m. The weather was chilly. There was a slight wind. It was obvious that a major battle had been going on
at Sadul Bahia since yesterday because there was a constant and endless artillery fire.
Agladir and Zak. 21st of September 1915. 8 officers from 2nd Battalion arrive. An uneventful day. Small party of Turks seen at night working near Secoy trenches. Fire open on them and two bombs
thrown. Party dispersed and 1 killed. Working parties of 5th Bedfordshires engaged during night and day on the trenches.
Over 20 men to hospital. 1 man sniped,
sniped. 1 man accidentally shot.
We departed to Chanakale at 5:30 a.m. The wind was stronger than yesterday and nearly turned into a hurricane. Marching was inconvenient.
No one was raising his head. Our eyes were blinded due to the dust. I looked back for a moment. The privates were sweaty due to the uphill trek. Dust and soil worked up
by the wind stuck into their faces. It became a strange scene. Even if a skillful actor worked for months,
you would not be able to make such comical faces.
22nd of September 1915. Hostile airplanes over trenches about
11 a.m. Between 4:30 and 5:30 p.m. Heavy bombardment of lines. 2 men wounded, 1 machine gun out of action and damage done to the parapet of trenches in parts.
The enemy's batteries beat our vicinity consistently. Intepe and Chakaltepe are spitting fire on the enemy. The flame of the cannon fire
may be seen even in this pure and clear air.
I managed to come through, all right, having 1 or 2 near shaves. But I'm sorry to say, I left my mate behind me.
I heard officially this morning that he was dead and buried, and it is an awful blow to me.
He was wounded in the head and the hand and died from injuries.
He was the nicest chap I ever met. Unassuming, matey with everybody, and I was very attached to him. My sympathy goes out to his parents and fiancé. He was the only son and the last of his line. He so far is the only death in the squadron and the one we would least fear.
Slowly, the darkness of the evening is falling down on the universe again. Some dark shadows begin to walk along the hills. The clearness begins to melt.
It is replaced by the waves of the purple horizon, far away by the lines becoming red.
HM Hospital Ship, Nevada, 23rd of August 1915. Dear Mrs. Jones, I am very sorry to have to tell you that your son Alfred Jones was very badly wounded in battle on August the 21st. He was brought on board this ship that night and died this afternoon. He was quite conscious and not suffering much, and he talked to me for a long time this morning. His thoughts were all with you, and he was longing to be able to see you again.
but he felt that it was not to be so, and he was content to leave it to God, to do as he might see best. We buried his body tonight
at sea, about 5 miles from Madras Bay in the island of Lemos. Yours very sincerely, Chaplain Colin Hamilton, CF.
Universe.
Some new graves took my attention at the left. I moved forward and looked.
Most of them did not have any marks on them. A tree branch was put onto some of them, and 2 or 3 had broken planks on it. I read them.
The name of the officers martyred in the battle were written on them.
Now my heart is really shattered. Who knows
How lovingly they had grown up, bodies of these men just lying there.
fed with the love and mercy of a determined mother and father. Life, such great changes within one day. You see, people who are at the peak of happiness a short while ago,
Swimming in the deepest phase of unfortunate disasters. A body which had been full of joy just a few hours ago becomes indifferent to the universe,
to good fortune, and to all his loved ones in a sad and tragic death.
They laid us on the sand. The sea rustled
in and out, and it got totally light. Maybe 1,000, maybe more, are laid out on the sand.